like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, the Boruto episode itself, it was fine. It was a real good sentimental time for Shikamaru, Shikadai, and everybody else that were actually there for the memorial. I'll get into that later on. What we are here for is the absolute debauchery. And of course the debauchery happened in the preview of this episode, or the preview of the next episode. We got to see Delta, we got to see Amado, we got to see Jigen, a whole bunch of characters like that, and of course Victor as well, because of course it's going to be about Victor basically trying to turn against the Kado organization, which is probably not going to go that well. What I really wanted to see, man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really wanted to see Kashin Koji and potentially even hear his voice in the preview, but it turns out that we did not actually get that. Now, I didn't really think that they have the reveal of Jigen and everybody else's face this early in the Boruto series. The first time that we did see Jigen in the Boruto manga and a lot of other characters in the Boruto manga, they all had their hoods on for a majority of the first times that we did actually see them. In this preview right here, we got a full face of Jigen. We got to see the side profile, we got to see the back profile, a whole bunch of things. So we got Jigen's design completely out of the way. That's great. Now, another design that I do want to talk about is, of course, Delta. People are saying the body looks great. Of course, we understand Delta's is thick, but they say the face is kind of off. And same thing I say with Kawaki's face when we did see him in the Boruto opening. This right here is literally just one frame, is just one drawing. This is not going to be how Delta look. If we see Delta look like this for a very long time, then of course then it would be problematic. But from what I'm seeing right now, Delta's face isn't necessarily anything too crazy. It just doesn't look like how it looked in the Boruto manga. And of course the Boruto manga made all the designs look absolutely amazing. So I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about this, and I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about Kawaki's design either. Amado in this preview, he looked amazing in my opinion, and we've seen multiple frames of Amado, so this is going to be a more accurate representation of how Amado actually does look in the Boruto episode. So I think that right there could possibly be a very good thing in terms of the actual design of Amado. Jigen in this episode looks basically like Jigen, doesn't necessarily look anything too out of the ordinary. Jigen's design overall is kind of meh until he does stuff and actually activates his carbon steel, which we all do expect. But regardless, I think it's good all around. I'm just super surprised that we got to see all of this in this particular preview right here. I thought even if we would actually see it in the episode, we weren't really going to see it in the preview. I thought we'd just see like a Victor's point of view. Now, from what we've seen from the spoilers, of course we understood that this episode right here is going to be all about Victor, and all about Victor basically talking about how he's pretty much almost at his end, and because of that he wants to basically do anything that he possibly can to stay alive. And because of that, he might actually turn against the Kado organization. It's already confirmed that he's already thinking about turning against the Kado organization. So that right there is going to be a very interesting storyline moving forward. Now, to talk about this episode right here, the episode itself, it was a very good episode. I feel like a lot of people are probably not gonna like it, mainly because it wasn't necessarily, as I said, a lot of debauchery in this episode. It was really all sentimental, and it was really all a good thing and warm-hearted, mainly because they were remembering fallen soldiers, and it was a very important scene for Shikamaru himself, mainly because he understood exactly what his father was thinking in the last moments, if his father actually believed in him, or was he just saying that to actually keep his morale up. And I think I was actually telling the truth in that particular situation. Now, I do want to point out there is definitely a possibility that all of this is actually made up from Al, and none of this actually happened. Al probably made up a grand master scheme. One of the theories that I thought would be actually super possible is the fact that Al didn't actually get fixed up by Katasuke. I thought it was possible that Al got fixed up by the Kado organization, and that right there is why he's so faithful to the Kado organization. But in the flashbacks that we did see today, they did actually show us exactly how Al got better. Now, I do want to point out that right there isn't 100% confirmed, man, because it's definitely impossible that Al just made up a story and then put a couple of medical people under Genjutsu, then put Katasuke under Genjutsu, and now they all think that they did actually save Al's life, and Al did all that, mainly because he doesn't necessarily have to explain to people how a secret organization called the Kado organization secretly fixed him up, and now he pledges his allegiance to an organization that's literally trying to destroy the planet. I know that was long, but stay with me. At this point, I really don't think that's the possibility. But if we do actually agree that that right there is not actually the truth, then we do have to figure out exactly how Al got mixed up with the Kado organization. Was Al a part of the Kado organization before the injury happened, before the Great Shinobi War did actually happen, or was Al actually radicalized after the Shinobi War, and after Al basically realized that there are things that he just could not control? For example, in this episode right here, we basically found out a couple of reasons why Al didn't want to become a shinobi, and one of the things that he did talk about is the fact that there's always going to be an enemy that he can't really beat. And of course he was basically thinking about the Ten Tails, and that right there could have possibly been a reason for him to actually join the Kado organization. I don't know, maybe I'm just firing off crazy ideas, but one of the things that we do know is the fact that we're probably going to get to find out exactly why why I actually did join the Kata organization. Ao, as you guys seen from this episode, is basically viewed as like one of the heroes of the 4th Great Shinobi War, and rightfully so. He provided valuable knowledge to the whole army. So for Ao to actually turn his back against all of the ninja and actually join the Kata organization, that right there is going to be a very interesting story. But nonetheless, you got to feel happy for Ino, and more importantly, you got to feel happy for Shikamaru, because Shikamaru is the one actually having the second guesses. But regardless, he actually got some closure in this episode to actually figure out exactly what his father was thinking in his last moments. The effect on Shikamaru is not only going to be emotional, but it's also there to build his confidence. But regardless, today is a very good day for Shikamaru. It's a very good day for Ino. It's a very good day for the Kata organization fans out there, especially because we got to see a lot of the faces and a lot of the face reveals of the characters in the Kata organization, specifically 3 of them. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, and give me some of your opinions specifically about the Kata organization. Do you guys like their design? What do you guys think about Delta, and what do you guys think about Jigen as well? Amado, in my opinion, had the best design hands down. But let me know what you guys think. It's me, your boy Bar B, and we out.
It's a knife.